Tone, there's some real money in the room.
OG Percy.
Yes, sir.
So, DJ Akademics recently called out Lil Baby. I believe Lil Baby accepted his call out after Lil Baby's associate claimed that he slapped DJ Akademics. You seen the footage, OG. What do you make of this whole debacle?
Boo-hoo, you crying out here, man. It be a lot of crybabies out here. It be a lot of crybabies out here. Ain't that right, Lil Baby? But these boys be crying, say, look here, man. Boy, let me tell you one thing about getting, the truth exposed on you. Nobody wants nobody to tell it on them. You can go 10 years, 5 years, you can hold something in on you, but it's one thing that you don't want somebody to tell it on. And right there, what'll hurt your pride in the streets if a nigga say he did something to you and you didn't stand up for yourself in the streets. We got another Scared Straight program going. Another scared man. Yeah, I believe Lil Baby slapped him. And now he trying to extort him out of 300,000 something. Come on. I won't tell no. What, man, come on, man. Quit crying. Where the gangsters at? What happened to the gangsters? What, take a slapping and keep on ticking? Boy, you slap one of these today, they tender, y'all. You gotta watch them. They're gonna call the police. Hey, y'all, I'm glad niggas starting to go to jail for hitting on people. Y'all know how many, the judge told me if I catch another charge, they gonna enhance me and they sending me to the penitentiary for a while. That's how many charges I got in the county. Yeah, smoking gang, in the streets. You know why I took them? Because I thought they was a gangster. Can I get one in? Tell them. Man, I was going to the drug house one day, y'all. When I was going to the drug house, I was going to go scope. When I went to go scope, I ran into some in the drug house, hanging outside the drug house. And I went in, I went to go scope for my youth, call her Big Mama. Big Mama always give me a deal. Big Mama said, if I goddamn you buy three, you get one free. Well, that's cool, Mama. I come in and give me goddamn me 3 big 50s, goddamn me, give her 100-something, $20-something, and she let me walk with an extra one. So one day it was sitting out beside the trap, watching Mama game. And when he was watching Mama game, he watched me come 2 times because Mama said I can get it at that price as long as I score 3 times a day. So I told her, cool. She said the price can stay the same as long as you score 3 times a day like that. I said, hell yeah, I always win. So she had a nosy nigga sitting in the house. One of the young nosy niggas, he was in a game called a Looney Tunes game. And it happened to be a whole bunch of them. And I ain't know nothing about no Looney Tunes gang. Shout out to the Looney Tunes gang over there off the south side, man. Goddamn me, but anyway, them boys right there was square goddamn business. But I ain't know nothing about them anyway. I go in there the second time to get my score on, and the nigga got in my business. They didn't say, man, He said, man, you came score a while ago, you owe Mama some money. I looked at Mama like, who is this nigga? She said, don't pay him no attention, that he ain't got nothing to do with what I'm doing. Well, yeah, I noticed that, because every time I come score, he ain't never heard. You hear about, I've been with you for almost a year, who is that? She told me, she said, baby, don't pay them no attention. They just trying to get into it with somebody. I said, oh, okay then. So that got up and walked out. But he did have about 5 more young sitting in the front room with him. And so when I come out to take care of my business with Mama, I leave out the and the in the front yard waiting on me. I'm like, for what? He said, say, look out, cuz. I turned around and said, what's up? He said, make sure when you come back, you come back and you have that money. I said, oh, pardon me? Hell, what money? What money he talking? I don't owe him nothing. But it wasn't about that no more. Y'all already crossed the line. They called me a bitch, but the nigga had to win. Because the young niggas in the front yard, they waiting to click me. I could tell the way he was talking. He just waited for me to say the wrong thing so they can run me down. But I played it safe. I didn't tuck my tail. I just kept my head up and my chest down and I walked off. But as soon as I walked off, I put an APP out on that nigga. I said, man, y'all, this is man, this check my trying to pull my card because I gotta get him. It's one thing about me in the streets, when I lose respect, I go all the way out the way to get it back. I swear to God I will. I go all the way to the end to get it back. So one day I put APP out and started knowing, when in my hood we didn't have cell phones and shit back then. We had beepers. But when you beep somebody and tell you beep somebody, you put APP, man, y'all see this, let me know. Well, it didn't take me long to get the phone call a couple of days later. One of the girls on my block says, look out, Percy, remember that nigga that you were looking for? I said, yeah. The gangster talking to this. She said, yeah, he on the street right now on Little John playing domino, him and his homeboys. I said, what? I told my little nigga, load up, let's go. I said, I'm on my way. We jumped, I got my little brother Super Dave, goddamn, my big brother AD, a couple more riders. We jumped in the car. We headed on down in our little old hot running hot car. We had a piece of car, it ran hot. You understand me? But that always got us from point A to point B. We jumped in, we burn on down the street. We get there, we jump out the car. Now the thing is, the nigga said when he see me, I better have that goddamn money. I said, okay, cool. You understand me? So the thing I know, when he see me again, he gonna pull that same whole card pull he tried on me. So when I pulled up, I walked on behind him to make sure he seen me. He looked at me. He was playing dominoes with his people. And then I walked around to the other side, made his other nigga see me. He seen me too. I said, yeah. And so after the domino game, I seen all the girls, the messy girls that called and said they was on the block. They was standing in the doorway just waiting. They say, and I remember one girl say, but nigga, you ain't gonna do nothing. That was really, I ain't gonna lie, she put a key in my bed back so big it was pitiful. Cause I felt like I wasn't gonna do nothing cause the nigga ain't trying to do it. But I heard the nigga say, domino, goddammit, the game was over. And I ain't gonna lie to you, that nigga stood on his gangsterism. He jumped about his seat, started locking C's with all the other niggas. As soon as he got to me to lock C's, I didn't throw no C up. He said, what's up, nigga? You can't lock this Looney Tune gang shit. I said, no, nigga, I locked these. I took off on that nigga. Bat. And they said, I said, yeah, nigga, you remember who I am. Nigga. I come up out my coat. Then he said, oh, yeah, you trying to squat down. His little partner tried to walk up behind and beat for me. AD, hot flat weed. God damn, AD, where that come from? He said, yeah, nigga tried to walk up and beat for you, Percy. Big brother caught the nigga, slipping. Oh, yeah. So me and the albino nigga, we got our ones. My rule in the street, nobody jump in because I don't want nobody to get killed. We going to keep a one-on-one fight. These niggas reach for something, we going to smoke, we going to start shooting. Everybody can shoot when the nigga reach. Other than that, let's fight. So me and the nigga got to fight. We getting it. We rocking out, I run that nigga through a bush, nigga, a full-grown hedge. I fight that nigga all the way through a bush, nigga. I never forget a time I went by that street, I look at that bush and that little hedge right there still broke off right there. I fought that nigga through a bush. Y'all know how hard it is to fight through a bush? I'm talking about a hedge, nigga, real bush. Y'all don't even know what a bush is. You know, I goddamn plants and flowers at the house. Y'all ain't seen a bush. Well, it's a little thing we used to have back in the day. We call them bushes, y'all, hedges. And one thing about it, it was hard. You can't just run through no bush. You got me fucked up. You run through other little shit but a bush, you made that up. But I whooped that nigga through a bush. Fighting like we stayed in that bush for about a good 30 seconds. I take him through the bush, and by this time I did my work. Make a long story short, they got a water hose. And the nigga was so brained up through the scratches through the bushes, plus the work I had put in, he was bleeding like a pit bull. So they got the water hose, started running it on the nigga's face like he was a dog outside. You hear me? The old lady across the street, yeah, the police coming. Well, that was our cue to go. We jumped in the car and we burnt out. Hello! God damn it. Make a long story short, what they got to do with anything I'm talking about? Well, by goddamn me a few days later, I was laying on the couch, me and my Spud and my boy Super Dave. I'm laying there with my box in there, it's the middle of the summer. It's hot, so hot, I got a cold towel, I got a towel of water on because it's hot, we like slaves in this. Ain't no heat coming. We got an air conditioning in the window, blowing like a goddamn fan, and it's blowing the heat from outside, cooking our You understand me? But the knock at the door was 2 police officers. When the police officers came to the door, I said, goddamn, I said, what's going on, sir? He said, you, get down. Me? Evidently, it's 2, Dave right there, my boy Spud right there. They draw the gun on me, tell me to turn over in the couch. Hell, I ain't got a chance to get up out the goddamn couch. So I roll over in the couch, they put the handcuffs on me. I'm like, who the fuck y'all looking for? The fuck? He said, yeah, we looking for you. You can't be looking for me, bitch. I ain't did nothing. He pulled out a picture in the notebook with the pictures on. He said, you know this guy right here? I said, yeah, we all. He said, he turned another page, he said, did you do this? I looked at that and said, I want to say, hell no. I said, we had a fight. We had a fist fight. You know, back in the days in Fort Worth, when was getting killed and gunned down, it was unusual to squabble with a nigga back then. Niggas got on the murder shit back then. They was dropping the guns. They went to killing. I told the police to make it seem like, he'll sympathize with me. I had a regular fight, a regular old hand-on-hand fight. It was a regular old fight. He said, well, tell the judge that when you go to court. I said, go to court for what? Who called the goddamn police? I go to jail. I'm arrested. I go to court. So I go to the people and I said, man, I know these niggas are gangsters. These niggas gotta be gangsters. Yeah, I know they're not gonna tell nothing on me. These niggas ain't gonna appear in court. They said if they don't file the charges, they'll let you go within 72 hours. I said, okay, I already know these niggas. I gone sitting here 3 days, goddamn me. I went up to the desk in 48 hours and she said the charges has been filed. I said, what? I said, the gangster told it on me? I said, oh, no. I gotta go to court. I gotta go to court. I got a year in jail, y'all. I got a year in jail. I had to do 2 for 1. End up doing 6 months flat. Yeah, I got a year in jail for that fight. When they looked at that and I did that work, I did 6 months. And guess what, y'all? That same that started that shit in the dope house with me was the same got on the stand and testified against me and made sure that I got time in jail. I try to tell y'all, I'm telling this story to let y'all know some of these they act like they tough, and when shit jump out, they'll call a law on you. You have to pay them $300,000 and $400,000 to get the laws off your back. You heard me? Hello! For the shit that you did. Don't never admit that I slapped the nigga. I used to think it was cool to do until niggas went to telling it on me. Yeah, until niggas went to goddamn me put me in that motherfucker with bodily injury. With bodily injury. Don't worry, you gotta goddamn Google it. OG Percy Dempsey. If you want to know Percy Dwayne Dempsey, you can Google my record. I got an injury to a child with bodily injury, possession of a controlled substance, possession with a controlled substance with the intent to deliver manufactured drug. I can tell you my record. You look at me and say, what the injury to a child for? Because I whooped the nigga goddamn when I was 16. He was 16, I was 17. That nigga looked like he was on a football playing team. This nigga threw a brick through my goddamn windshield. At the park trying to be tough. Me, I got to squabbling with this nigga. Next thing you know, I go to work at a good ass job, and guess what? I got picked up by the police again. At work. From a nigga that threw a brick through my car windshield. This nigga 6 feet tall. When I was a young nigga, I was a small nigga. I think I was about 5'5". I stayed 5'4" for a long time. 5'5" or 5'4" for a long time. And niggas that was 16 and 17, they always been taller and bigger than me. This nigga right here was a gang member. I told the judge, I said, man, he threw a brick through my car windshield. He said, where's your car at? I said, my car parked in front of my yard right now with no window in it. He said, you gotta be kidding. I said, no, you know what he did? He dispatched the police to my address that I gave him. The police went to my address, hit back on the thing, and guess what I heard the police say on the other end? Confirmed. I didn't even know what that meant. That was my first time hearing the word. I went, what that mean? He said, me, you was telling the truth. He said, man, so why you didn't call the police as all this happened? Well, hell, I thought they were gonna what? Keep it gangster. Well, damn fool I was. I got 2 years probation for that. Y'all hear what I'm saying? So when you slap these DJ, you know, these niggas turn to niggas like that. They're turning to niggas be talking about, man, I'm gonna be 300,000 to give you 300 now. And then you want somebody to still think you a gangster. If you got slapped, slap back. You understand me? What's wrong? Your slapper broke? Yeah, you know, but then you're crying. I don't like, you know, because you gotta watch these type of people. They act tough. Now you're in there barking and barking and barking. You can't respect some of these until they come out the closet, homie. And DJ Act, he's out the closet. He's just acting now. Yeah. We already know what you ain't gonna do. And that's one thing you didn't want us to hear, that a nigga slapped you. Especially a baby. Bars.
Let's go. Hey, real tone, there's some real money in the room.